Okay, let's dive right in. The hospitality industry, as you know, is at a huge turning point. There's this massive industry-wide search for a way to really stand out, to wow guests, and to completely refresh properties, but without the absolutely crushing costs of a traditional renovation. That's the new challenge. And the solution? Well, it's a complete reimagining of what a property refresh can even be. And this really is the question, isn't it? It's what every single hotel operator is wrestling with right now. Your guest expectations, they've skyrocketed. But at the same time, surging inflation has driven up the price of literally everything: materials, labor, furniture, you name it. So how in the world do you deliver that fresh, high-impact design when it feels like every financial reality is working against you?
And this brings us to what we call the renovation dilemma. You can see it right there on the screen. It's this fundamental conflict between the rising demand for boutique, memorable experiences and, well, the ever-present pressure of cost control, speed, and these days, sustainability.
You know, post-COVID, travelers don't just want a room anymore. They want an environment, an experience. And this isn't some soft metric we're talking about. Atmosphere now has a direct, measurable impact on your average daily rate or your ADR, not to mention your guest reviews and brand loyalty. Plain, blank walls, they just don't cut it anymore. So if we all know why we need to update, what's stopping most properties? It really comes down to the how. The traditional way of renovating is just loaded with costs, complications, and a whole lot of headaches. Let's break down this cost of tradition. This slide just captures the core disconnect perfectly. On one hand, you have the traditional model with its super long timelines and disruptive schedules, which is just completely out of sync with today's need for speed. The crazy high cost of furniture, fixtures, and equipment, the FF&E, crashes right up against tight budgets. And that huge environmental footprint, it's just not acceptable anymore when both guests and investors are demanding sustainability. And these issues, they translate into very specific, very real pain points. We're talking about the mess of demolition, the noise, those unhealthy VOCs, volatile organic compounds, and weeks of guest disruption that directly hurt your bottom line. Now add in the logistical nightmare of trying to coordinate multiple trades, and you've got a process that is expensive, it's slow, and it's environmentally heavy.
But what if there was a way to get the transformation without all the trauma? This is where we pivot from the problem to the definitive modern answer, the direct-to-wall solution.
Now, let's be really clear about what this is. This is not wallpaper, it is not a vinyl sticker. It's an advanced printing process that applies architecture-grade graphics directly onto your existing walls, whether they're drywall, brick, or even concrete. It creates this seamless, durable finish that honestly looks and feels like a full-scale renovation. And when you put them side by side, the advantages are just undeniable. Where vinyl can peel and bubble, direct-to-wall printing is a seamless, permanent application. Where paint offers limited creativity, this delivers 300 DPI photorealistic quality. It's a faster process, there's minimal waste, and it completely leapfrogs the environmental concerns of older methods. It's really no contest.
And the sustainability benefits here are a total game changer. We're talking about zero material waste. No vinyl, no drywall, no adhesives going into a landfill. The low VOC inks are safe for guests and staff almost immediately after they're applied. This whole approach drastically reduces a project's embodied carbon and directly supports your brand's critical ESG and sustainability goals. It is, without a doubt, the fastest, cleanest way to modernize.
Okay, so we know the what and the why. Now let's talk about the where. Let's look at the highest impact applications for this technology. These are the 5 areas where we consistently see operators get the fastest and greatest return on their investment. And number 1 might actually surprise you. Guest corridors are often the single highest ROI use case. Think about it. You can instantly brighten those long, dated hallways and introduce brand motifs without the nightmare of stripping old wallpaper.
But look, the most compelling argument is also the simplest one. So let's get into the numbers that make this such a clear strategic advantage.
So the first number is just staggering. A 70 to 90% cost savings compared to a traditional renovation project that's trying to achieve a similar visual impact. I mean, that number alone directly solves the budget crisis we talked about right at the beginning.
And then there's the speed. Most feature walls can be fully installed in just 2 to 3 hours. We're talking about entire hotel floors being transformed in a single night shift. The operational efficiency is just unbelievable.
I mean, this visual really makes the point undeniable, right? We are compressing a project timeline that used to be measured in weeks, sometimes even months, down to a matter of hours. And that translates directly to revenue. Just think about the massive reduction in lost income from out-of-service rooms. The result is simple. You get all the upside of a major visual upgrade with absolutely none of the operational downside. There are no blocked corridors, no complaints about dust or chemical smells. The guest experience is completely protected, which at the end of the day is the ultimate goal. So when you put all of these pieces together, the cost, the speed, the quality, the sustainability, it becomes crystal clear that this isn't just a new tool. It's a fundamentally smarter strategy for refreshing a property in the modern era.
And that right there is the key takeaway. Adopting this technology isn't just about making your walls look good. It is a strategic business decision. It's a tool that elevates the guest experience, which improves your revenue per available room, your RevPAR, all while hitting those critical sustainability targets that your brand and your investors demand. Ultimately, as you look for ways to modernize and compete, the answer might not be in some massive construction project. The most valuable, high-impact surface you have is already in place, your walls. So the only question left is, how are you going to use them?